Hello again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Orange Weekly.
It is that time, your favorite time of the week. We're not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews and your fantasy league. We've got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. Like Lindsay, Sutton, and Judy. We are the Mile High Broncos country.
Orange Weekly. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. How's it going, Broncos country? Welcome back to another episode of the Pregame Huddle here on Orange Weekly. As always, we got a lot to talk about as we get ready for kickoff, which is less than 45 minutes away. Ayla and I are here to answer your questions, talk about whatever you want to talk about, because here at Orange Weekly, we talk with you, not at you. So, Ayla, if you ask me, that's why we're better than any other Broncos show out there, because no one else does that.
Right? Like everyone's involved. It's the fans are part of the show too. And
100%.
I love it. I love it.
Awesome. Before we break it down, everyone, remember, check out our sponsor, Centennial State Insurance Agency. They are your go-to for any insurance needs. Smaller insurance agency that will give you the attention and care that you need, that you won't get from any other big insurance agency. So make sure you give them a call. You will not regret it. 303 dang it, I'm waiting for the scroll. 303-838-0554. I don't know. I always want to say 535, and I know that's wrong. So anyway, 303-838-0554. We're starting the show off strong, aren't we there, Ayla?
Strong drinks. Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Okay, we got a ton of people in here. Let's start breaking it down. Barb, Red Cloud, Robert is here. Man, Robert is always here, like right at the beginning. Red Cloud and Barb. We got some awesome people. So I'm going to pull up the inactives list here. But Ayla, obviously, we came off that win against the Panthers last week. Big time win for us. But what are your thoughts heading into this game? Josh Allen and company coming to town.
Hey, I want us to be confident but not cocky. So we won a game, and that's amazing. But now we need to just get our heads back into things and not let it take us through the roof this week. We need to drop back down to earth and play some good football. We need to be smart about things. Our defense can always do their thing. I'm not worried about them in the slide. Well, our secondary is more shallow by the day, it seems like, unfortunately, but I still think we have enough to keep us going on that end of things, because there's a lot of other talented defensive things happening. But our offense, I want Drew Lock to do his thing today. That's where I'm talking about confidence and not cocky. Okay, so he has been proving himself. He is getting better statistic wise, no matter what people are saying, because I know a lot of people still don't believe in him, but he is getting better. So if he can just show up today, this would be a huge win. The Bills have only lost 3 games this year, but it's to teams that we actually showed up against as well. So, and we get to play in Denver, which is always one thing that I think makes the game better for our players. So
Definitely.
It's exciting. And Saturday football. Don't you love that?
Well, I mean, I keep every 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, it's Sunday. Like, we got Monday. I was like, no, wait, no, we don't. So yeah, I
we
love it.
don't.
I love it.
Yeah, we get the day of rest tomorrow for reals.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of inactives there, Hila, we got no one really too surprising from the Bills or the Broncos. TJ Yeldon, running back from the Bills there. That's really it. Jaquan Johnson, safety there. Broncos, of course, our entire secondary is kind of, minus Justin Simmons, is kind of really, really beat up, and that's a concern that we'll talk about here in a minute. But of course, we did have a question earlier. Is McManus out? The question is yes. He was.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. So we do have our COVID kicker. And you know what, Ayla? I fully expect him to go out there. We're going to need a 69-yard winning field goal, and he's just going to boot it right down the middle. I'll put $5 down on that.
Did you turn into Jared? Like, I need it 69.
Well, 70 is like a little really too pushing much, but 69 I think is doable. Yeah, I think right. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not going to hold my breath on that, because the weekend that we played without a quarterback, I was fully expecting some sort of weird miracle. And it seems like when you put people in who just aren't there playing all the time, that you don't want to, I don't know. I don't want to put all of my coins in a basket for that one. But sure, I would love it if something miraculous like that happened. Yeah. Of course, wouldn't we all? And it would be history making, and McManus would be even more mad that he can't play. And then he got showed up by somebody else kicking a 69-yard field goal. Exactly.
Well, I mean, hopefully it doesn't. God. But Ken here, good question here. Do you think that the defense or offense will win the game? For me, look, it's the defense. When you got a powerhouse team, I'm gonna call them powerhouse team, at least on the offense there. Again, for the Bills coming to town. You got to find a way to stop them. And look, my big thing is we were able to keep Pat Mahomes out of the end zone when they were in the red zone 4 times.
In the red zone, yeah.
So if we can do that against Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and these guys, we should be able to find a way to do that against Josh Allen. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I
mean, and he's like the same. He likes to run the ball, so we've got to keep our linebackers have to be aggressive, and they're going to have to do their part of, watching for an actual running back or watching for Josh Allen to turn into a running back and stop him as well, because we can't give that up.
Right. But obviously Josh Allen isn't Patrick Mahomes, but he has some of those same characteristics and traits, like you were saying, being able to run the ball, move in the pocket, move out of the pocket, make plays happen, extend plays.
Yeah.
So
he's number 4 in the league for play action efficiency. So, our defense will have to be on their toes for that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Red Cloud, I can drink and not go to work. That's good. I wouldn't recommend drinking and then going to work. I guess it depends on your work, but I would say not so.
Yeah, no comment.
No comment. Jude here. Thanks for joining, man. We might even have Jared too here in a minute. Lindsey has not been doing much the last few weeks. Do you think he runs for over 75 yards? And now here's the thing, I still don't, and I want to get Jared's take on this here in a second, as well as yours, Ayla, but I still don't think they've been utilizing Lindsey correctly. They're using him for a lot of run up the middle plays, which, sorry, that's what we have Melvin Gordon for. Melvin Gordon is that really big, powerhouse, run up the middle, get those yards kind of player. Philip Lindsay, you need to get into open space for him to, go full afterburner and get running. And they just haven't really been doing that. And that worries me going into the offseason, but that's a discussion for when we're in the offseason. But yeah, Ayla, we've been talking about this for a while now. So, yep, I want Lindsay to be able to get 75 plus yards.
I would love him to, but we do have to utilize him to the outside. Something that happened last week that we did mention was screenplays and using them and utilizing them. And they worked last weekend. So I think that would be something that comes into play again this week as far as efficiency goes on play calling aspect of things. But yeah, that's at least we have Melvin Gordon. Use him up the middle. He's more of a powerhouse that way. And I think Lindsey's wrist is feeling better. So, using him on those short passes and letting him go to the outside would be where he could definitely get some major yards that way, which I would personally love to see that because his hands used to be great. He doesn't thumb the ball, and then we got to take advantage of that. No visor or anything?
No.
Whoa, who are you?
Come on. I need to. I
It's
started the
sitting
show.
right there.
old
It's
school
there.
B, but
I'm coming on.
you know what? If you all missed it, I did. I very
Just remember
happily
Team Visor.
joined Team Visor last week because Team Puffball was starting to get a little too clicky and catfight. So I said, "Screw you, David. I'm out, man." So ignore that. We're just gonna imagine this is a Visor because Team Visor all of the way. Jared, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm ready for this game. It's Saturday afternoon. This seems weird.
It seems so weird, right?
No, still right
Yes.
there. Red Cloud, no, man. I ordered this jersey and added the patches myself, so not selling this one.
Right.
So let's get Jude was talking here about Philip Lindsay, and I want to get your take on. You heard what we were talking about, so I'll take it.
Yeah. So the biggest take I think here is both not just Philip Lindsay but Melvin Gordon also have been limited in practice all week. Obviously, without being able to do a walkthrough yesterday, neither one of them are on the inactive list that has been released, which is good. However, how many takes, how many touches they're going to get, I still think, and Kev, I heard what you said earlier. I do think that we are still running that 50-50 split. And for the last 2 weeks, Melvin's just been getting more. He's just been doing more with what he's been given. And what I do like is that they're not caring about who's in the backfield with what play call they have. And I think that's really helping out the offense. And you saw it last week. I think Philip Lindsay's first 2 touches were on catch plays on the outside, which is something that we've never seen before. Normally if Philip Lindsay's in, we're running the ball. It's hard for him to pass block being his size, and it's hard for him to catch the ball out in the field. But we haven't been doing that. We've been going the 50-50 split no matter what's going on. So I don't know what we're going to do this week. The good news is if one of them does get injured, I think we have one of the best third running back in Royce Freeman, who is an excellent pass blocker, especially depending on how this game goes.
Right, Kev?
Awesome.
He is.
Let's see. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I think there's still adjustments and trying to figure out what's best for this offense and whatnot, but trying to figure out who has the hot hand. And I think you can go 50-50, but you have to utilize both of them within their own talent set. When you're running,
and then if it doesn't work out, Royce Freeman is there to do the backup work, to clean it all up, because that guy is super talented. I mean, I love having him. I wish they would bring him in more, but we kind of don't need it when the other 2 guys are healthy.
Right.
Jared, your stash is missed. We can no longer say that this show is brought to you by Jared's Stash because obviously it no longer exists for now. Ken here, question. Judy hasn't done much. Do you think he'll produce the rest of the season? And we've talked a lot about that. But again, I guess bigger picture, what do you expect from him today? Obviously, this season, he's been the number 1 threat that defense have had to plan around. And so they've done a great job shutting him down because that if you take him out, then you force Drew Lock to throw to the other people around him. Now, thankfully, we have a lot of other talent around him for Drew Lock to be able to spread the ball around. So it really hasn't been working too much, but you have seen Jerry Judy get in the mix a little more, especially last game. So do you guys think we're going to continue to kind of get him some balls his way or what?
Yeah, and we talked about this on Rangers too last night. If you guys haven't gone,
Time out, Jared. You sound like a robot again. Yeah. Oh, so Ayla, what do you think about Jerry Judy while Jared resets?
Oh shoot. Well, to be honest, I didn't see what they heard or hear what they said about him on Rangers, but what I think would need to happen is the gelling between the quarterback and him a little bit more, because there's been other receivers that have just been working a little bit better so far. But do I think the guy is talented and ready to work for it and has the potential to make it happen? Absolutely.
Yeah. Am I good now? Everyone's good? Okay, cool. So yeah, no, and that's exactly what we said on Rangers. And right now, I'm gonna ask you guys a question and see if you guys know off the top of your head. Who has the most touchdowns on the Denver Broncos right now this year?
I couldn't tell you. Noah Fant? No, that's not right.
Nope.
No, we don't have
No.
that many touch. No,
No.
he doesn't even.
Tim
So
Patrick?
we did it. Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick would have been my guess. Yeah.
Tim Patrick and Melvin Gordon are tied for 6 touchdowns. Melvin Gordon has 2 over the air and 4 on the ground. But Tim Patrick is our number 1 receiver. That's what it is. Tim Patrick is our number 1 receiver, and they're going to start playing for that. And I think we're going to see is as that's continuing, people are going to start focusing on him. I think Judy is going to come back. I think this is the game, if not one of the games, because people have kind of forgot about him. We have Tim Patrick over there who's doing very good things, especially in the red zone. He's a big target in the red zone. And then you have Hamler going off in the last 3 weeks. Noah Fant being back. It's a lot of things that you have to cover. I think Jerry Judy has a very good game this week. And that's what we were saying too. So Patrick.
When I think Judy's dealt an uphill battle this year because he's made such a sparkling name for himself without even being in the NFL yet. He was that rookie that a lot of people are talking about. So when it comes to teams preparing for us, that's one thing that definitely do is they're making sure that Jerry Judy's covered, which leaves the other guys open a little bit more. KJ Hamler seems to have that connectivity with Drew Lock. But is it that, or is it that nobody's preparing for him yet? Because now that they're going to have a little film with him as well, teams are going to have to prepare for him too.
No.
But Tim Patrick's been outstanding. I mean, hasn't he been one of the best guys to watch all season long? I've loved it. He hasn't missed a beat.
One of the best things I love about this season is we're getting ready to, towards the end of the season, is that our wide receiver core, our tight end core is so good. It's so hard to sit here and be like, I don't know what we're going to do in the offseason on the offense. I love our core that we have, and including the fact that we haven't had Cortland Sutton all year. Can you imagine having him back and now having all these Cortlands? It's amazing to see what these guys can do.
100%. Yeah. Speaking of threats, Ken here, and Dan, I'll get to your comment here in a second. KJ Hamler is the best threat on the offense. Look, we've seen him finally at the Kansas City game, they started really utilizing him, and we saw exactly why we drafted him. That speed, that ability to just break ankles and get that extra 3-4+ yards to get the first down, right? I mean, it's like, where has he been all year? Why have we not been utilizing him? And now, his first game that we started really throwing him the ball, I mean, lights out. And since then, the last couple of games, he's looked phenomenal. So, yeah, I mean, again, just another huge player in just his first year that is making a big impact.
Yeah, we got him for speed. We got him as our Tyreek Hill, and we finally showed it that we can actually target him in what we got him for last week. I don't know if that's going to happen this week. We talked about it a little bit just because their safety depth is much better than what we had against Carolina, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult to take those shots. But yeah, I love the speed that we have with him.
Let's see, Daniel, John, completely agree. I mean, it's another just huge awesomeness that KJ Hamler brings to the team there. So McManus's tweet yesterday, I know of the one he tweeted last week, which was hilarious, but as of today, I didn't see anything, so I can look that up. So
McManus, yesterday he tweeted basically saying on Monday he went on COVID protocol, so that's Monday he tested negative, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday he tested negative, which means he should be good to go today. Why is the league not letting him play? I agree. A lot of this is coming down to, and apparently there's a lot of back and forth. Sometimes they say, your first test doesn't start till the day after you find out. Some say that starts the day of your first test. And honestly, with the way that COVID has been going in the NFL, and not really a rag on the NFL, but a little bit, there's been no consistency. There's been no consistency on what is good, what's not, how many tests do you need, how many days, when do the days start?
When they're going to shift games for teams even multiple times, so we have a Saturday game, and why not push the Broncos to a Sunday, because we've pushed other games, last minute as well. Tuesday games, get out of here. So, why they wouldn't, and it's just a shining example of maybe we don't have somebody in our corner fighting for us hard enough, ownership wise, and Goodell's pocket at all, of saying, hey, this isn't fair. This is, twice. So you're gonna make the Broncos play without a quarterback once, without any quarterback, literally, and now their kicker, had a close contact call. He's been out for 5 days, had 5 negative tests, and he's still not going to be able to play. Where is the consistency, and where's anybody that's going to call him on it either? Because they're getting to make up the rules as they go. So, if they break the rules, nobody cares because they're making their own rules.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about keeping the teams with owners happy because the owners vote for the commissioner.
Yeah.
And that's
all they care about. Yep. 100%. Hey guys, we're going to keep talking here a little bit, but it's time for you to be able to enter the Orange Weekly contest this year. Go ahead and post your score prediction. If you are correct, of course, the Broncos have to win for your entries to count. If the Broncos win, you automatically win some fantastic Broncos swag. As long as you enter your score prediction, you will be entered into a prize drawing at the end of the season. So you are running out of chances to be able to enter that. So enter your score prediction. We'll share ours at the end of the game, but make sure that you get that entered here soon. Let's see. Color Rush uniforms are the best, and completely agreed. Jared, here is the question for you. Ken asks, with the Raiders loss, do you think we have a shot to make the playoffs? Of course. And that one off to you, good sir.
We are not mathematically eliminated yet. A lot of things need to go our way. With the Raiders loss, we still could finish second in the AFC West and miss the playoffs. It really comes down to what happens with the Ravens. The Ravens are going to need to lose out the rest of the week as well, and I just don't see that happening. That's tough. We have the tiebreaker if we beat the Raiders at the end of the season. We have a tiebreaker with them, and we have the tiebreaker with Miami, which is really good as long as they go 8-8 as well. Obviously, the best we could finish this year is 8-8. We have to win out, and we need the Ravens to lose out. Basically, is what we're looking at. Just the high mountain.
Yeah, I mean, crazier things have happened this year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, it's not looking promising. You're right, Jared. It's not over, but yeah, I don't see it. And I think if not by this weekend, then next weekend it'll be kind of a nail in the coffin time there.
Right.
John, there ought to be a constitutional amendment outlawing the AstroTurf and Color Rush uniforms. He's not a fan of them. I'd be okay if they adopted the helmet, though. I love the helmets they use for the Color Rush game.
Oh, I love
the helmets. I know. That is something so sweet.
Let's see. Robert asked, did you see the new Kendall Hilton rule they came up with? I honestly did not.
No, you might have to explain that one, Rob. I don't think I've heard that one. It's something about a reserve quarterback, I assume.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Or the rule is, just screw the Broncos. Doesn't matter.
That's how it's written. It just says
Kendall rule. Screw the Broncos. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of score predictions with really high scores.
I know, really high scores. I was going to say that too, Kev.
Yeah. I mean, so do you guys, and we'll start getting to the score predictions here in a second, but, obviously we saw Drew Lock 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 75% completion rate, more than a 75. I can't remember the exact number. And was it over 250 yards, which is the only quarterback to do that all season. So what do you have to see from Drew Lock today to not think that he took another step or two backwards? I don't think he's going to have that same exact performance. I just don't see it happening. But at what point do you say, okay, well, last week was a fluke and he's, went back to being completely inconsistent again?
Well, it's going to be a different game because he's playing a different team. And, this defense is going to be a lot harder on him than what he got handed last week. But I still think he's perfectly capable. I think he'll get 3 touchdowns. The thing he did last week that was absolutely necessary was clean football. And that's going to have to happen again today. I mean, there's no way that he can go back to throwing the interceptions he has been all season and still can think that he'd be in contention for, winning out the rest of this year.
Fair.
Yeah, for me, it's this game. Buffalo in the last 4 or 5 games has had at least 1 turnover, and most of those turnover for 6 points, whether it be a fumble recovery or a pick 6. And I think this is the game for him to prove himself that he doesn't have to do it. 2 things are going to have to happen in order for that to happen, though. One, we're going to have to establish the run game just like we did against Carolina. To take the pressure off of him. And we can't get down. Once we start throwing from down, he seems to be making a little bit errant decisions, trying to force things a little bit more. Obviously, he has it in him to be able to do it, but I think the pressure gets to him a little bit. So we can't be playing from down, and we need to establish that run game in order for him to have the same game that he had last week. I think it's capable. I think he's capable of doing it against this team, but those are the things that are going to need to happen in order for that to happen.
Yep. A couple of people here saying no interceptions. I think that's a very fair stat. Maybe he throws for 1, maybe 2 touchdowns, but as long as he doesn't throw for any interceptions, I think that's the perfect stat line to show that he hasn't stepped back. I haven't really started drinking yet. Okay. So
it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, somewhere. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't care what time it is.
Yeah.
Robert 3128 Broncos. Jose here. No turnovers unless we are getting them. Let's see. Ken, how many tables you think Bills fans will break today? Well, if they lose, I'm going to say 6 to 9 tables there, Jared. I beat you to it.
I see what you did there. Oh, man.
Good stuff. Okay. We're coming back.
And maybe a TV, because aren't they just expecting to beat the Broncos, and those are the games that make you the most mad. It would send them through the roof. So let's have them break some TVs or tables or whatever they want to break, and get this really big upset, which their record shows that they're a pretty good team, but they've played really tight games. Their losses have been against teams that we absolutely we showed up for. So I don't know. I think this could be the good upset that the NFL isn't expecting. I don't know what Vegas says about it. Jared could definitely tell us more about that, but
yeah. Speaking of betting, Jeremy says let's bet on the table breaking. So if you guys don't know, we do
but
have
people have to admit it. They broke a table because
we have to have
videos. There's plenty of videos out there. I guarantee it. So obviously, if you guys didn't know, we do have a Broncos betting show called Ragers, the Ragers podcast. They did go live last night to kind of show you what it's all about. Ray and Jared here do a great job breaking down what the betting lines are of that upcoming Broncos game. And it's not just we love the Broncos, so we're gonna pick all of these different categories. It's here are the lines. Here's what we're looking for. Here's the ones we're gonna take. Here's why we're gonna take them. Here's the ones we're staying away from, and here's why we're staying away from them. I think I heard you're something like 30-26 or something on the season.
Yeah, I think we're 29-19 and something. And 3. I think we had 3 push. And then last week was rough because Philip Lindsay was over on his bet and then lost 4 yards. He was over by 2 yards and lost 4 yards on the run at the end. So we lost that one. But I'll tell you right now. I just put in mine. It looks like I'm looking at over on Fant coming off of a rough. I don't know if we've talked about Noah Fant on this episode yet, but I think he's going to have to play a big role in this offense this year or this week against Buffalo, because that's where they're giving up the 26th most points to tight ends in fantasy. And usually if you watch Ragers, he kind of compares it when you're looking at a fantasy standpoint, that's where you're also looking at the lines for the betting. If they're giving up the 26th most points in fantasy, or they're 26th in the league on points in fantasy against the tight end, and we have one of the tight ends. I'm still going to sit on this. Our record doesn't show it, but I think we have one of the best tight ends in the league in Noah Fant. And he, after his sickness that he's coming off, him and Garrett Bowles are coming off, he needs a big game. I'm taking the over on Fant. That's one of my ones. And then if you want to see the rest of our lines we're taking, make sure you go check out OW Ragers on Twitter.
Yep, definitely. And follow us on Twitter as well at Orange Weekly and Instagram at Orange Weekly. And if you haven't done so, share that video for us already. Hit that like button, love button, care button. Maybe not an angry face button, but whichever reaction you'd like to give us.
If you want to do it, whatever.
Whatever, do what I want.
I'll give you my angry face now.
Here's mine.
That's not very angry. That looks like you're.
I'm trying not to smile
a little bit, but. Yeah, it's like you're trying to be mad, but it's not working. Okay, we're going to get to our score predictions here, guys. Raymond will be here with you all at halftime. Remember, we are the home of the original live Broncos halftime show, the Halftime Hash. So as soon as halftime starts, come on over here to Orange Weekly. Ray's going to break down the first half with you all and talk to you about what your thoughts are, what questions you have, and what to look forward to in the second half. So Halftime Hash, as soon as halftime starts, Ray will see you there, and Ray is just absolutely hilarious. I just got to admit, that guy is just, I don't know how he does it, man. Love him.
It's just Ray being Ray.
Just Ray.
What can you say?
Now that I'm now that I'm Team Visor, Jared, I want it known that I need to find out how to buy one of those visors you got there.
I can get you one of these.
I think it's time. Make it official, man. I have a visor. It has
We're
nothing to do with
switching.
Broncos, so.
Kev's switching.
Oh yeah, David totally threw me under the bus, I think, last week.
You did.
I said screw it, I'm out. So love David, but not Team Puffball. Robert, you are funny. I do appreciate your humor on this show here. Okay, 15 minutes from kickoff. Let's put our score predictions down now. I'm going to go ahead and start. I think we keep the whole Buffalo's offense out of the end zone for the most part once again today. We're going to hold them to field goals, and I think Drew Lock's going to be able to, again, move the ball, spread the ball out along all the different threats we have out there. No interceptions. I'm definitely calling that one. But I think the score is going to be something along the lines of 20-16, letting the Bills get one touchdown.
Okay. I like it. You're picking the Broncos. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start this right off the bat. Two of the Ragers I took is that there's going to be over 48 points in this game, and the Broncos are going to score more than 21.5 points. I think this is going to be a shootout. We are having issues with our DBs right now. Our cornerbacks, I think we're only starting three. We only have three cornerbacks on the roster, obviously with Will Parks being kind of that third corner. Obviously, Kareem Jackson can come down and play slot if he needs to. I think it's going to be a shootout. Josh Allen, he's got a good arm. He's got good vision, and it's going to need to be thrown over. I think the score is going to be something along the lines of 27 to 27-30. And I don't know who I want to go with here. I'm going to be the bad guy. So I'm going to be the bad guy. I think the Bills win this with a late field goal, 27-30.
Can I add that I was really hoping we would win with that 69-yard field goal from our backup kicker? I don't think Jared was here for that.
He wasn't there.
I would love to see it out there. And then there's going to be this whole controversy of McManus or whoever this new kicker is and who's better, and it's just going to blow up. So, there you go. So.
Yeah, well, with McManus missing a couple last week, if this guy shows up, what are you going to do?
See,
someone's got to be the bad guy.
Look, but, hey, we're in the bullshit here. We're not just going to sit here and say Broncos are going to win because we love the Broncos. We're going to tell you how we think it is. And so,
yeah, and I'm not going to lie.
You're realist.
I want to be wrong. I do think it's going to be a shootout, and I want to be wrong. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I hate the score predictions because I'm terrible at them, but I like playing the game, and that's what we got to do here. It's a guessing game. I'm still going to pick the Broncos to win. I think it's going to be a close game, so I'll go 27-24 with Broncos still winning it because that's what we got to do. And Mile High have the upset of the year that the NFL will be talking about, and make it happen even with missing our kicker for the week. So
awesome.
Look, it tore me just as much as it's tearing you guys apart to say that. I'm telling you, it's
I know
not,
it hurt.
And you know what?
I
will happily if Denver flower yourself. What's it? If Denver wins, I normally always pick the Broncos too. So that's the other thing. If Denver wins, I'll come on next show on Tuesday and do something. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we could decide something the next 5 minutes before the game starts.
Flouring yourself is just taking baking flour, I guess, and
covering myself in baking flour.
Yeah. Otherwise, is it also called antiquing? When you throw it at their face and turn them white and
do the LeBron where I just do this in my closet, which is where I'm at right now, and it's just fluffy white everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chocolate sauce to the face, something.
Ooh,
yes, at least I'm not having to eat the poop like the dude with that.
He's gonna eat a turd. That guy.
Of course, he's got an underground, and you're never gonna find him now. So
we have his name in a screenshot. I will find him. I'll find him.
If we win, do it live tonight.
Red Cloud, we're gonna wait till the Tuesday show when everybody knows it's gonna happen. So we'll see. We will see. Okay, guys. Any last thoughts? We're about 10 minutes away from kickoff. Jared, you bud.
This is it. This is a game that we need to prove. I think Drew Lock and Pat Shurmur both need to prove that they could be consistent, and I think this is the game to do it. This defense is nothing to look away from. This is a very good defense and a playoff bound team. If we can go out and do what we did against Carolina, we're going to have a lot more confidence, not only just this season, but going into next season, that we have our guys going into next season, and hopefully put to quiet some of the people that want to fire all the coaching staff and get rid of Drew Lock and whatever the case is. If we could be consistent, that's what I want to see in this game.
I will say, just to top all of that I am disappointed that Red Cloud was here and he didn't say get rid of Drew Lock or anything along the lines. So maybe Red Cloud is starting to come around, and I'm going to ignore the rest of his comments for this show because I want to leave that as Red Cloud did not say get rid of Drew Lock or that he hates Drew Lock this show. Big improvement right there. Ayla, we'll move over to you, bud.
Oh my gosh.
He did.
Oh no.
There it is. Oh gosh, Red Cloud. That's okay. I like him. I like Red Cloud being himself.
I do.
We need those people in there. I say contain Josh Allen today. Don't let that guy go balls to the wall on our team. I hope our defense can hang in there again and do what they do best despite everything that we've lost with them. So contain that guy. But of course our offense will have to score again. And after last weekend, I think we'll have the confidence, but hopefully not cockiness, and play some good football. Maybe another fun special teams action in there because that was awesome last week. So
that helped.
Yeah, a lot. Definitely. Mr. Jason here. I don't know who Natra Domi is, but we're more interested in the Broncos. So Jason, love you, bro. Glad you're watching, but man,
the no trade Amy
all mixed up. Okay, guys, I think that's it. We're going to get out of here, grab our own drinks and whatnot before the game. Remember, Halftime Hash. We are live with Raymond at halftime. Don't watch anybody else's halftime shows. They clearly stole it from us, and they suck. So we're here to talk with you, not at you. Don't forget about our other content, post-game podcast, pre-game podcast, Tuesday night Bourbon Broncos No BS, 7 p.m. Mountain Time every single Tuesday. Pregame show, halftime show. Check out our website, BroncosOrangeWeekly.com, for the latest podcast episode and some articles as well. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Jared and Ayla, thanks again as well. But I think there's nothing else to say other than a good old
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. See ya.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sip and go, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.